Alright, welcome to Flamecast. This is Todd.
This is Wes Swingley.
And this is Travis Buckmeyer.
I think this is the first time we've had all three of us on
It
one.
is, yeah.
It's a
After
Christmas miracle.
Yeah, after all the time I tried to get this to happen, it's finally happened. And on top of that, Wes is here in person. He rang the doorbell and the dog started going nuts, and Rachel's like, Todd! And I go upstairs, it's like,
He said to show up at 10 o'clock.
I'm speechless.
He said 10 o'clock, so I drove since 5 a.m. this morning. That's not true.
See, that's what you were supposed to do, Travis.
Yeah. Love you, man. I'm not sure that's going to work.
I've been here a couple days.
Yeah, it's more about a 12-hour drive for me, so I've got to really feel it, Todd.
Yeah.
I gotta drive out to your place sometime.
There you go.
I think you were driven over here at least
Couple times.
2 or 3 times, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As my grandma says, the road goes both ways.
Yes, it does. And we all know that Todd is capable of driving. We've seen him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last time I was on this podcast was in person as well. This is 2 in a row.
Ooh.
But Todd had come down to my place.
Oh, wow. So Todd does make house calls.
No, only for Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with me.
It was a matter of convenience.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
I really should get around more. Just for...
You got how many years before you have a technical empty nest? And then you got to do all the buy an RV, do all the traveling.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? This spring, we've got Savannah's band orchestra trip to New York. Rachel's one of the chaperones. So they're leaving the house. I should be able to leave the house too.
One would think so.
The only person that'll be here is Sean. So.
Oh, then you got somebody to take care of the pets.
Yep, he's self-sufficient. So.
Yep.
World tour.
Yeah, I could. I can go right down that way. Be at your place.
If you get yourself one of those body cams, you can actually, record your trip and turn it into a YouTube video that goes for hundreds of millions of views.
Ah, Travis, did you ever see those videos from
I was going right there.
way
Todd.
back when?
Todd goes.
Todd goes. Oh my gosh! Yeah, we could have an update.
Lots of Burger Kings on here.
Burger Kings? No.
It'll be Todd Goes 2020.
Well, I
Yeah.
was telling Todd before that I just started watching Cobra Kai, which is following Johnny Lawrence, the character from Karate Kid, whatever it is, 30 years later.
Yeah, that's a good little series. Yep.
It is good.
Oh, you've seen it too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of that.
We're only like 6 episodes in or something. It's been pretty good.
So it's okay. It's a series. So is it just like one season and
It's 2 seasons now, I think.
2 seasons?
Mm. Yep.
But it's got Ralph Macchio and whoever the guy is that played Johnny.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel bad because I'm
Yeah.
drawing a blank too.
Yeah, and I never really got into the movie, so
We watched
I don't know.
Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid, a couple years ago, a few years ago.
so it doesn't hold up.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh,
Mhm. Anything with Mr. Miyagi holds up.
Right.
That's all you really need.
Yeah.
Not, however, watch Karate Kid 2. Not that level.
Well, Karate Kid 2 wasn't horrible, but once you hit Karate Kid 3, you're just like, okay, yeah, jump on the shark, babe. Jump on the shark. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 is the one where you climb the cliff to get the bonsai tree, isn't it? Or is that 3?
I think that's 3.
Okay. Yeah, that was a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, because 2 they went over to Okinawa.
2 is the one where he breaks the ice blocks, though.
Yes.
That is a scene. I need to watch it just for that scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess I can honestly say I've never watched 2. I've only seen parts of 1.
Sorry,
I don't think I've ever seen 3.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that'll be too much of a spoiler for me. When it comes to that point, I'll just say, "Oh yeah, this is the part Wes is talking about,"
Yeah.
You'll still tear your eye will tear up.
because I have no idea what the story is or anything. So.
Neither do I.
It's okay. Stories don't matter.
So yeah, other than watching Karate Kid stuff, well, we kind of said what you've been up to a little bit.
A little bit. My most exciting thing is right before I came up here on Friday morning. Delivery came to me on Friday morning before I left of a new telescope that I bought.
Ooh.
I had a telescope when I was in grad school 15 years ago, and then when I moved to Japan, I got rid of it, and I've been wanting to get one ever since. And now I'm an adult and have a decent salary. I bought a way too expensive. But it's pretty
Yeah.
glorious. I had it out last night with my cousins.
Did you already look up Jupiter? Have you
We
looked up?
at Jupiter and Saturn last night.
There you go.
Nice.
Jupiter is glorious right now.
Hmm.
So for kids are 11 and 14, they were really excited to see Jupiter and the four Galilean moons.
Yeah, we got Shelby a cheaper telescope, first one, and she barely used the things. I think we've gotten rid of it already.
Right. My mom told me that she found recently. I needed her to send this to me. My first telescope was shaped like a space shuttle. See,
Ooh.
quality.
Yes.
Quality telescopes.
Nice.
Kind of every boy dreams of.
Yeah. I bet if I looked at them on eBay, they're probably worth like $4,000.
Wow.
Or
So I suppose it was maybe as powerful as looking through binoculars or something.
not even.
Oh,
It was like those binoculars you get for free at a baseball game.
oh boy.
I think it was Jasco. That's a company, right?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
What have you been up to, Travis?
Well, my summer is filled with work because it's our busy season. So that's our big entertainment. Other than that, still have to recover from Celebration because we all know that was exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time though. Then otherwise, we had a nice big event last weekend, raised money for St. Joe's Children's Home here in Louisville. A little warm. We'll say that was a little warm. Otherwise, now just kind of getting prepped for fall and all the fall events.
It's been a really hot summer. Not the type of summer to dress up in body armor. Probably.
No.
Actually, the summer up here, it's been kind of on and off.
That's what my family said. It's
Yeah.
been rainy and down in Louisville's a lot closer to Chicago weather. It's been really hot.
June wasn't bad in comparison to last year, but July was nice and warm, and then this next week I think is supposed to be just atrocious. But yeah,
I haven't looked up weather up here to see what's happening.
I have
But
a bit of news. I'm officially on sabbatical for the semester, which many people probably don't know what that means, but what that basically means is I don't have to teach and I don't have to do administrative work until January. So
are you being punished?
no, this is a reward.
Oh,
Glorious
the other
full-day
way.
sabbatical for a semester.
so getting paid for
Awesome.
doing nothing. That's where our tax dollars are going to.
I didn't want to say it. Didn't want to call them out.
Considering how many vacations I've had over the last 7 years, I think I do. No, but a
Well,
lot of
good for you,
things
though.
I have to do, or I have a research project I'm working on at the time, lots of writing and things like that, catching up basically, but not doing all the administrative million little tasks is going to
Yeah.
be just glorious.
So do they expect you to do stuff while you're...
Yeah, you have to propose a research project for sabbatical and get approved. This is my first request, and so usually people get approved on their first request. But a lot of it is really just mental break, mental refresh, because by 7 years into a professorship, we're all going insane.
Nice.
Yeah, so I look forward to having a bit more time to actually enjoy myself this semester. Maybe I'll watch
Cool.
the sci-fi movies that Todd asks me about during our podcast.
Yeah, you're not gonna have enough free time for all the odd ones.
Yeah,
Just saying.
all the odd ones.
I need to get some on the show notes. One, Shazam is on my.
Oh, yes. Watch Shazam.
Yeah. Although that will come up in our rapid fire movie ratings.
Alright, I see how it works.
Looking ahead, that's how I work.
Yeah. Yeah, me, I've been well, of course there's work to deal with, but the scooter has seen its fair share of use this summer. I ended up getting my motorcycle license, so
Ooh.
got that out of the way. Which, oh my god. So you've got to go through this little course that they've got painted out on a parking lot. And, yeah, one of them is like weaving through cones, and you do a 180 comeback. That's not too bad. Another one is you've got to do a quick stop. That's easy enough. Another one is you have to swerve. After you reach like this last set of cones, you got to swerve left or right, and they tell you before you even start. Well, you're gonna be swerving to the right. I'm like, okay, so that was easy. And then there's the dreaded U-turn, which being they've got two different requirements on this one, depending on how big your bike is. So it's, I think, what was it? If you're above maybe above a 250cc, something like that, you've got to do one course, and if you're, no, it's got to be 500 or something like that. Because I was on the lower one, which is a tighter curve, and you go outside the lines, and that's points marked against you. So
Ooh.
that one was the hardest to do, and I went and practiced, and it comes to the day of the test, and I get there like an hour early, and I'm practicing, and I'm like, I have totally got this down, all four of these tests. And comes to the time of the test, I'm one of the last people, and I go and do the cones, and yep, I come and do that, come to the resting point where the guide tells me to hold there until the next part of the test, and he wasn't like walking towards me, he was walking back. Here it was like the last cone, my tire must have caught it and tipped it over. I'm like, crap. I'm like, this is the first time that I've come close to doing that, and happens on the test. So I'm like, okay. And then he's like, okay, now the U-turn. So I go and do that, and yeah, the bike went outside the lines at the end of the curve. I'm like, crap. I'm like, I'm gonna fail this thing.
You have to get like 80% or something.
Yeah, and they don't tell you your score. They just tell you pass fail.
Wow.
So, and then it comes to the quick stop and the swerve, and those that were perfect. And so I get done, and I get to the last little area where you're supposed to park and wait for the paperwork and stuff. And I'm like, when I've been doing the test or the practice, I do a lot better than this. This was like an abnormal incidents here, and the guy's like, "Well, you're pretty shaky to start out with, but you ended up okay." I'm like, "Thank God." I'm like, never have to do this again. So
See, Todd, the thing is, what you should have done is dressed up like Prince, and that way it would have alleviated your stress, because they'd been all distracted by that, and you would have just rolled right through. I'm just saying.
yeah, I know.
Something where a car doesn't realize that you're there and tries to hit you, and you have to avoid
Oh,
You know-
I could help with that.
Yeah.
I'm willing to help with that. Hell, I'll do it with a golf cart.
One person, they had lived in Wisconsin and gotten their license over there, and they had so many days to do it in Minnesota, and she waited too long, so she had to go through the test again and all that.
Man.
And she's like, yeah, in Wisconsin, they give you an earpiece, and they just follow you around in town and tell you, okay, take a left here, take a right here, do a quick stop. I'm like, that's what it should be. I'm like, it's more practical than, okay, swerving around these little cones that are spaced like 4 feet apart or whatever it is. It's like,
This time,
Yeah. Uh, but I'm done with that. Pass. So, yeah, we've taken a couple of trips just, out riding. Rachel and Wade, myself. First time we went down through Winona, across the river, went up the Wisconsin side to Red Wing, and then came back down around. And then yesterday we were going to look at a vehicle that was over at a dealership in Albert Lee, so we rode down there. And then on the way back, stopped at Owatonna to get Pizza Ranch, and and then made it back to Pine Island. But
Is this your way of telling us the answer to my question about the RV? Is that you're going to start buying lots of leather and going to Sturgis every year?
no, I'm not doing that.
Hey, I told you my Prince costume was on something here.
Yeah, that's right.
With
Mhm.
yeah, with the scooter I have, I don't think they would look on that very well in Sturgis.
I guarantee somebody shows up with a scooter.
They probably do, but I know they kind of look down upon those people. So
That's why you
if
wear
you're
this
not
costume. I think Travis is right.
if you're not riding like a Harley or something from the 70s, maybe 80s, I think you're kind of yeah.
Well, at least they won't make an example out of you right away.
Be like Pee-wee in Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he meets the motorcycle gang.
Yes, exactly.
I'll have to go up there and start dancing to tequila and win them over. So yeah, that's been my summer. But I suppose we should get to the rapid fire movie rating. Let's just do
Todd, you're in control. You can do whatever you want, man. We're here for you.
well,
So are we rating?
I suppose. Let's go. What? 0 to 5?
5 stars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up to 5, and you can give like, say, a couple of sentences about each one if you have something to say, and we'll just move on.
What's the order? He's going to cycle.
He's just gonna go
Yeah.
through it.
I'll just yell out something, and we'll.
Like for Travis and I to talk. What's the
Oh, yeah, we should go. We should go through.
Wes, you can go first.
Okay, Wes, Travis, myself. All right, here we go. Captain Marvel, Wes.
4. We'll call it 4. I've liked it a lot. It had some really odd music choices.
That's odd.
Alright. I'm
All
agreeing.
right. Yeah.
I'm agreeing with the 4. My actual challenge was just some of the dialogue sequences just seemed to be a little bit almost like they stuttered. But otherwise, I really enjoyed that movie.
I suppose. Yeah, I'd give it a 4. I mean, I had no problem with any of it. Yeah, we're still talking Captain Marvel, right?
Yes, Captain Marvel.
The only problem I had was the audience reaction to it.
Mm.
Because, I mean, you have the people that genuinely liked it and such, and then you get the people that, oh, Brie Larson's is a racist and, sexist. And I'm like, did you fucking read the article where she was quoted from? You're taking it totally out of context.
Yep.
I will also say 3 words, 4 words. Agent Coulson's age makeup.
Mm.
Not good.
Yeah, it was a little off. It was
Yep.
Really weird.
yeah.
Really, you realize that's because he was a shapeshifter, right? Aha!
The other problem is Ben Mendelsohn, always a bad guy. Like, you can't have Ben Mendelsohn in anything because we will automatically assume he's a bad guy.
But this one,
I also recognize his voice. And
yeah. But this one, it kind of threw you for a loop because, yeah, you're expecting, oh yeah, he's a bad guy, and then he turned out to be a good guy in the end. Spoilers!
Oh God! Way to go, Todd. Just ruined it for everybody.
I think if people were going to see it, they've already seen it by now.
Yeah.
So.
Skrulls is good guys.
Nope.
I don't like it.
Well, it's still plenty of time to work on that.
But, yeah, tying, well, I shouldn't give too many spoilers on that because that's a more recent movie. It's still in the theaters. I'll just say that Spider-Man: Far From Home. Please, people, stay for the end credits and everything.
Yes.
Maybe I should have gotten that water. All I've got down here is beer.
Just start with a beer. You'll be fine.
Hey, man. Okay. Shazam. Wait, I changed.
Can't see it yet.
Okay. So,
I'm giving that a 5.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
For your 5.
Let's put it this way. That was way better than I expected. I enjoyed it. I mean, there are some parts on there that kind of pull you through, but it's when you're at the end of the movie and you go through that final sequence on there. I think they did a great job with it, and they added a nice little twist to it. Because, as far as I'm concerned,
You talk too much. No, I'm just kidding.
wasn't expecting some of the twists at the end there, but no, I really enjoyed that movie. I think for some of the struggle that that DC has had, I think they did a great job with that one.
Okay. I would give this. I would say a 4.5 if we can do that.
Well, you set the rules, Todd. You can adjust the rules to fit
Yeah,
your agenda.
'Cause I totally agree with you. I mean, I saw the trailer initially. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be so cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And yeah, going to it and seeing it, I'm like, they actually surprised me. I'm shocked that this is as good as it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
I was.
So, speaking of cheesy and DC, I just watched Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's so bad. I hated it so much.
Really? Because I didn't really have a problem with. I was expecting more.
The storyline, well, for one, sorry, this is a sidetrack, but
Okay.
the whole storyline about the overthrowing the kingdoms and all of that sort of business, that took up like an hour of the movie and didn't matter at all.
Oh yeah.
We need to see the whatever his name was, the guy who's way older than Jason Momoa and is supposed to be his younger brother. Why did we see him trying to take over these underwater kingdoms? It did nothing, literally nothing for the entire movie.
Well,
Yeah.
I got into a discussion about this just last night, and somebody else pointed out that Manta.
Yeah, Black
What
Manta.
was his real point here?
Oh, I know, and his costume was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It drove me nuts.
Well,
Yeah, my wife the whole movie was like, why is this character here? Why do
Yeah.
we get the storyline of these?
But on the flip side, though, I did enjoy it just as an action type movie. I did not hate it.
Some of the CG, so it had all of those spinning CG shots that
Mm.
I was actually getting nauseous with all the
Oh.
spinning shots.
You needed to have some of Todd's beer before that, then.
Right. My last question about Shazam, though,
Yeah.
to move us on, is did it make you want to watch Big?
That's true.
Had the feels for it, but
Yeah, okay.
Didn't they even do? If I'm.
Big reference into
yes.
Yeah, the big
the piano.
big piano
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. All right.
deal. Yeah,
Yes.
and important to note that was the main character. He was born in Zumbrota, Minnesota. It was like everyone in the theater like turned to each other at that point. It's like Zumbrota, because it's only like what 20 miles away from Rochester. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that was kind of and the reason they used that was I think the guy that came up with Captain Marvel was actually from Zumbrota.
Uh-huh.
I can't think of it now, but I suppose I could look it up. But that'd require a lot of typing.
All right. What's the next one
Okay.
on the list?
Okay, so we've got Avengers Endgame, which I just saw on Blu-ray a couple nights ago. But Wes.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Wow.
I did not like it as much as Infinity War. I thought it. Alright,
Yeah, you've got an issue with time travel things, don't you?
I'm
Okay.
giving it a solid 4.5. However, I will point out that to me, it has what I'm going to describe as the single best movie moment.
Are you talking about Captain America?
Captain America, when you
Mhm.
see the hammer fly and he has it, and again, this was a discussion I had last night. I said that's the moment where your first thought is, hell yeah, Cap, go kick his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, and to me, I guess that a big part of that movie is do you have a powerful moment like that that just says, hey, here's a character, he's everything you expect out of him, and let's bring it.
Yeah. I like Thor's reaction. I knew it. um. Yeah, I would. Gosh, I'm between a 4.5 and can I get a 4.75? Yeah, between a 4 and a 5 there, I'm kind of torn. But yeah, just I mean, it takes you through like a whole spectrum of emotions. The whole movie. There's yeah enough humor in there that it makes it worthwhile when those parts show up, and then you get to the parts where you know um, Tony's talking with his father, or you've got just those little moments like that where it's like, okay, now you're like a blubbering mess. It's like I don't know if you've seen Kevin Smith's posting of when he watched I think, gosh, what was that? The season finale of Flash season one, and he recorded himself watching it, and he's just crying buckets and stuff. It's like that's what I picture, some of these people watching Endgame, especially like at the end.
Yes.
But yeah, I really
Time
like that.
travel, it's always going to have problems. But my issue with time travel in this movie is how much they talked about time travel.
And then they're like, "You're not trying to compare this to Back to the Future, are you?"
Yes.
So yeah, it's kind of funny. Okay. Did anyone actually go see Tolkien?
No.
I'm sure I heard about this.
Really?
It's a documentary.
No, it's
I really didn't.
it's kind of like the early points of his life, and fighting in World War I and such. And yeah, I had thought about going to see it, and Chris Marler, he's a big Lord of the Rings fan, and Hobbit and all that stuff. And even he was like, "Yeah, I think I'll wait until this hits,
Red box.
Netflix or something."
Was like an hour and a half of the movie just him like writing the languages, making up the languages.
I don't think so, but I think because I didn't end up seeing it myself, but I want to say that kind of like if you've ever seen that parody of Shakespeare in Love, where it's George Lucas in Love, and you see where parts of the Star Wars saga that George has yet to create, he's got inspiration from this part of his life and this part of his life, and that's kind of what I gathered was happening in Tolkien, but I guess sometime I'll find out when I find it online somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Anyone see this one?
Didn't see it, heard pretty bad things.
I unfortunately had not seen it, and I think I only know one person that saw it, and they're a Godzilla fan, so I think their opinion was biased. But
Well, now you know 3 people that have seen it because Corey saw it with me.
okay.
um, I would say I'd give this a 2.5 at most, maybe a 2, because if you're looking for a movie where you're seeing these large monsters just beat the hell up on each other, this is a good movie for that. Some areas it might be a little because they're fighting in the dark and in rain, and gosh, why do they do that? Because it makes it harder to see things.
But it's supposed to be more scary.
Yeah,
Special
yeah.
effects, but
That part or those parts were kind of like, I want to see them like beating up on each other, and yeah,
what would you guess his number to be?
I would say he probably agrees with my rating. Be, you know, of course they got to throw in the story about the humans involved too,
Well, of
and
course.
that's where if you're separating out the movie from okay the monsters, yeah, I'd probably give it like a 4. If you're talking about the humans in there, I'd give it like a 1 at most, because it's just. Do you really need to do this? I mean, we came to watch them fight, not to see.
Godzilla movie.
Yeah, that part was kind of bad, but
No, it'd be different if they were squishing all the humans. I mean, that's a different aspect of it. You
oh
don't see
yeah,
enough
if they
of
could
that.
have done that in the first act,
Mhm.
I would have been fine with that. You can start a story, but all of a sudden everyone's dead. Huh? That's too bad, and then they battle it out. That would have been a better movie.
And Mothra wins.
Okay, some of these aren't dealing specifically with sci-fi or
Just because that's
things like that, but
Mm.
yeah, I've got Rocket Man on the list. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
for one, like 2 words, Taron Egerton.
Well,
Okay.
okay, he was the same guy from the the Kingsman. So I liked him in that one. Did not watch this movie. People at work who did watch it did not have great things to say about it. So I'm like,
Really, that's weird.
I just don't care that much about Elton
Yeah.
John. I
Well, yeah, you got to have a certain interest in him to actually care about the movie. But
well, and part of the challenge you have is you're following up Bohemian Rhapsody.
right.
And yeah, and Bohemian Rhapsody is a great movie, but again, are you overkilling it?
Yeah, I mean, and he's kind of a mysterious figure who's dead. That's kind of interesting. Elton John, like what?
You know what you're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Taron Egerton looks nothing like Elton John. That's my other problem. Elton John is a weird looking dude. Even when he was young, he was a weird looking dude.
Yeah. I had not seen this movie myself, and I'd been planning on seeing it, and I just never got around to it. And I don't think it's in the theaters anymore. But because yeah, you look on like Rotten Tomatoes, and it gets like good ratings there and stuff. But it's like everyone I've talked to that has seen it, either they're not a fan or they.
Is it one of these things that critics like, but
Yeah.
humans don't?
I can't remember. I'd have to look at Rotten Tomatoes again to see if the critics and the audience scores were similar. But yeah, I don't know about that one. I'll probably give it a try when it comes to Netflix or one of those services. Another one of those. But yeah, I guess that's that. Dark Phoenix.
Avoided like the plague.
I really wanted to see it. I mean, just because.
Really? You haven't
Um,
seen it?
I love Jean Grey. Like, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, it's okay.
Go ahead.
No.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
your love for Jean Grey. You can go with that.
I love Jean Grey. The movie looks so bad. I think that's partly why I didn't want to see
Well,
it.
and here's my problem with is you did Days of Future Past, right?
Right.
And to me, that was a phenomenal movie. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
How do you get from that level to what everybody's talking about with Dark Phoenix?
Well, in Armageddon, I mean that Armageddon was
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, yeah, was atrocious.
And it had so much potential too. That's the other problem.
Yeah. That one was kind of
I failed watching it on an airplane. That's how bad it was.
Damn.
Well, I actually did see this movie.
Ooh.
What's your rating?
Gosh, I would give it a 3.
Wow.
Okay. Maybe
Because
we're-
I thought what they were trying to do. I mean, yeah, you've got some overlap with X-Men 3,
Mhm.
as far as what they tried to do there, but it was not a big chunk of it. Um, well, on second thought, maybe it was more, but uh, I just remember sitting in the theater, and it's about 3/4 of the way through, and I'm thinking to myself, my God, isn't this movie done already? I feel like I've been sitting here like for 4 hours.
That was a good sign. When you're
Yeah.
I'm just like, this movie needs to be done. It was alright, but they just drew stuff out where it was like, ugh.
same about Aquaman. That's what I felt.
Hmm.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's my rating on that.
All right.
Okay, so we get to another music movie, Yesterday.
I do really want to see this, but I didn't get a chance to.
Yep, that's another one. I'm gonna have to either Redbox or Netflix that one.
Okay, I actually did go and see this one. I kind of planned on doing it, and I didn't think I'd get Corey to see it. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe see it after work sometime on my own. Well, that wasn't happening, and then Shelby had said she wanted to go see it. So I'm like, there we go. So we'll go see that. And I had 2 free
Yay.
movie tickets that I'd won from a radio contest back in the fall. So I'm like, I got to use these up before October or they expire. So yeah, we went, and
There's a lot
Yeah,
of talk, and you haven't set a score yet.
Mm-hmm.
that's true. I would give it. Gosh, either a 4 or 4.5.
Oh wow.
I saw the Rotten Tomatoes reviews were not amazing.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
I this is another one where you have to be a fan of the music, because there's quite a bit of it in there. Um, if you understand the premise that the movie is doing, where this guy overnight, it's like the Beatles don't exist, and they don't really explain that in the movie at all.
So you mean the major
It-
plot point has actually no explanation?
I think that's not a bad thing. So
it's not really.
take 28 Days Later, right?
Right.
That's a good example of a movie that never explains what happened.
Yep.
It's a good-
They're trying to get you to focus more on not why did it happen, what are the effects of it happening.
Okay.
So that movie, actually, I looked up Rocket Man, and it was the audience score and the critic score were almost identical. But yesterday, that is not the case. So the critic score is 63%, but the audience score is actually 89%.
Yeah, I would go with the audience score. Yeah. Yeah, that falls like right in between my my rating there. But yeah, go see that when you get a chance. And then we have Spider-Man: Far From Home.
I would go with a 3.5.
Okay.
And I think the best thing I can say is,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, nothing was bad, but nothing was super exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right between that 3.5 to a 4. I enjoyed it. I thought, to me, it was just a very enjoyable movie. Some of the points in the plot line, you're just kind of like, not sure how you get to that point, but I'll suspend the disbelief and go with it. But I definitely enjoyed it.
I would have to agree with your assessment or rating, because yeah, it was enjoyable movie. I don't like it when they kill off characters, yeah, I don't know. Can we? Spoiler alert!
Wow.
We'll just say spoiler right now. Okay, so they kill off Mysterio. And it's like, okay, you just introduced him, and now you're killing him.
Did
But
they? Mm.
Can you
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's open to interpretation, I suppose. So yeah, he could be alive, but as far as everyone knows, he's
fake their
dead.
own death, right?
Yeah. Hey, we've got a guy that died what about 35 years ago on film, and he's coming back for episode 9. So
Yep.
you never know.
You never know.
The one thing I will say about the Mysterio thing is I think all of us are nerdy that you knew Mysterio was a bad guy going in, right?
Right.
So I talked to Mariah about this, my wife, who did not know, and I asked her, like, did you buy it? Like, at what point did you realize he was a bad guy? And she said she was actually in on him being a good guy until I don't remember when, but
The bar scene.
Yeah, I think it was a bar scene. I think she said the bar scene he was just a little too smarmy, and
Mm.
that's when, before he revealed himself, that's when she figured it out. So, I think that you may get a very different view of this movie. I think she liked it more because of that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Interesting.
That's a good point. If you didn't realize that his history as a character is not good, that would make more sense.
So I don't know too much history about him. So when they were giving the false information of where he came from, like a different part of the multiverse, is that actually part of his history, or is that something totally made up?
Yeah.
Because my thing was, I hope they don't go the route of what they did with the Mandarin and just mess up that character.
The Mandarin, the real Mandarin, is coming back. Something, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh shoot, what was it that he was coming back in?
Doctor Strange.
I just heard.
No. Shoot. There was a movie dealing with the Ten Rings,
Right.
and it wasn't Doctor Strange. It was something else. I can't think of what it was, but it was supposed to be more of a Asian movie, Asian cast movie.
With white people cast as Asians, you mean?
Hey, the thing with what's his face on his Netflix show? People just totally got that wrong. They're like, "Oh, he's supposed to be Asian. He's a white guy." Iron Fist, yeah. He's supposed to be Asian, not a white guy. And it's like, no. Go read the history of this character. So
I think that was not the worst complaints I heard about that show.
I actually didn't have too much of a problem with it, other than that first season they had of it. It was like every other episode, or maybe every episode, you got his adopted brother and sister talking in the boardroom. Well, what are we gonna do about him? It's like, okay, you've gone over this point already. Move along.
One note: one theory is that the Mandarin could return with Shang-Chi,
Okay.
but Marvel has not confirmed any of that.
Yeah. That's like what? Like stage 4 or whatever they're called.
Phase 4, which would
Phase
bring-
4.
We are now officially in Phase 4. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all the movies I got. I guess I haven't seen anything other than those. Even some of those I didn't see. I thought maybe someone else had.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a movie in the theater for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man was the last one.
I think so for me too.
Yeah, same for me, I think.
I did want to see Toy Story, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, same here. And one person from work that did see it, he's like totally overrated. Like, oh,
I thought
okay.
Toy Story 3, actually. I didn't. Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3, as Kevin Smith refers to it, as Schindler's Toy Box.
Oh my.
They're all gonna die at the end.
That's so horrible.
Ah. Well, speaking of movies, one that hasn't come out yet, but we've seen a trailer for. We did get to see that trailer at Star Wars Celebration. But Travis, you had to see that from one of the video screens, didn't you?
Yeah, we were able to get a good view of one of the ones that hit over the main show floor there.
Yeah.
But it was still good.
Yeah. I got to see it in one of the overflow rooms. What's that?
You didn't say which.
Oh yeah, we're talking about if you haven't guessed yet,
Star Wars.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9.
I hesitate to call anything that Lucasfilm produces a trailer anymore. Everything is a teaser.
Yeah, you could call it a teaser.
There was a note that they are expecting a new actual trailer here in next week or two.
Soon. Okay.
So we'll see if that happens or not. But that was some scuttlebutt floating around last week.
Well, you would think that by that time it's about 3 months away.
Mm-hmm.
You would have something out there.
They only have like 15 reshoots to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, as long as they get it right, that's all that matters to me.
And then I had just seen someone's speculation story online yesterday about so and so could be playing Mara Jade. I'm like, really? I mean, if they do, fine, but I don't know if
So it would be old project.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. If they go that route, unless they introduce her as a young Mara Jade, which is
Yeah, it could be that
entirely
too.
possible. I mean,
They could do a flashback and
well, but keep in mind now, because they've swept aside a lot of the expanded universe, they could make her something else.
well, they've been staying pretty true to some of that stuff. I mean, you look at
It'll be a Trandoshan.
no, I don't think they go that far. But you look at like Grand Admiral Thrawn,
Mhm.
and they did a pretty dang decent job on Rebels.
I think
Yes.
he's basically the same character, right? Like there's
Yeah,
no
pretty
major
much.
difference or background
No.
difference.
No.
They maintained that.
Yep. So I would think they would do something similar with that character.
Well, here's the challenge you have though. If you actually go by the other characters, which Kylo Ren is, Ben Solo, and in the expanded universe, Ben was actually Luke's son.
Yeah.
So that's where
Oh
it
my
comes
God.
in. Mhm.
Yeah, they could be throwing us totally for a loop where he actually is Ben Skywalker, and Rey is actually, yeah,
Razor.
Or Rey is
No.
actually a Mara Jade type character.
well, she could actually be Han and Leia's daughter, and then you've got Jason out there maybe that saves the day. It's her long lost twin brother.
They're not putting her as Leia's daughter. That's
He did have a weird connection with Leia.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're the clone of your brother, just saying.
I really I'm just like the speculation for time travel in Endgame.
That's it. They're gonna do time travel in Star Wars.
There was some line about that. It was never gonna happen.
No.
Actually, oh wait, did you not watch Rebels?
Oh yeah, there was that.
Where was time travel in Rebels?
Oh, that little Nexus type place where Ezra went in and managed to pull Ahsoka out of the timeline.
Yeah.
Right, but was that
Mm-hmm.
was it actual time travel or was it like
It's not actual time
across
travel,
space?
but it's moving across time and space.
Yep.
That's a bit different.
But here's the flip side of that: is who else knew about it from that episode?
Darth Maul, right?
The Emperor.
Oh, the Emperor. That's right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about getting Ahsoka
That would be kind of way off. I think they do want to see her on screen at some point, but I think that's going to happen elsewhere.
Right.
What was I going to say? The speculation for Endgame, there was a lot of time travel speculation, right? So the speculation for the Star Wars movies, especially this one, I think, is cloning. And in both cases, I just think it's such a easy overused device. I hope they don't do too much cloning garbage in this movie.
What if at the end of Return of the Jedi, the Emperor actually doesn't explode down at the bottom? He goes through a portal, a time portal, and that's what you see, as a result.
I'm more along the lines that he has his from the comic books, those the guards that walk around with face plates, and it's him quote unquote him in there talking to him. That, to me, that would be the more believable scenario, but we'll see.
Todd, I'm gonna have to leave somewhat early. We got started late, so I'm gonna have to leave early. But I did want.
Okay.
I forgot. I had one other. What have I been up to that I don't think I told you about?
Okay.
One of my what I've been up to is I went to an astrobiology conference in June, and one of the main speakers, one of the they don't call them keynotes, but I forget what they call them now. Plenaries speakers was Anthony Rapp. Do you know who Anthony Rapp is?
The name sounds familiar, and I can't place it.
He is the science officer from Star Trek Discovery.
Ooh.
Okay.
What do they call him? He's a exomycologist or something like that. And I didn't realize that his character is actually named after a real mycologist, a real fungal researcher.
Wow.
But yeah, I met him at the conference, so he gave a talk. It was really cool about representing science in movies and pop culture and stuff like that. It was a really good talk.
Nice.
I asked him a question about Hollywood representing scientists as real human beings, because Star Trek does a really good job of that. All the scientists in Star Trek movies are just total normal, cool people, and then you look at Big Bang Theory and garbage like that, where they're just total caricature stereotypes.
Yeah.
And so I asked him about that, and then I chatted with him a little bit afterward. He's super nice, super cool guy.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a fun experience.
Speaking of experience, since we were kind of talking more about the movie than we were about the celebration, which is kind of what was on the list. So if they had another Star Wars celebration, would you go?
If they had, when they had, are they not planning on having it?
Well, they're still having them, but say another one happened in the area.
Yeah, I think so. The one thing I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it on the last podcast, but one of the things that I was excited about going to Celebration and going to, I've gone to Dragon Con and things like that before as well, where I think I've aged myself out of the excitement about toys and props and things like that. And so walking through the vendor area and looking at all this stuff sounded exciting to me, and then when I did it, I was like, I don't want to buy this stuff. I don't need anything extra clogging up the shelves in my house that are already full. So that was kind of sad. So
Yeah.
That's where you have to change that experience to not maybe the toys, but just some of the other items. So like you had a booth that was doing backpacks or other interesting things that, hey, for hauling your work computer around.
Yeah, like the really nice sort of tailor-made
exactly
purses and stuff like that are cool.
Yep.
But at the same time, again, like Mariah has a Star Trek computer bag, a laptop bag. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No, I haven't.
It looks really nice. It's kind of like hers is a science officer, jacket.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, stuff like that is cool. I got a T-shirt. That was the only thing I bought. But when I was a 20-year-old, my dreams were to make enough that 40-year-old me would go out and buy replica lightsabers and things like that. And now I just don't want it.
See, my thing was, I was kind of looking at the Black Series lightsabers, and I'm like, yeah, it'd be nice to get one of those because, all I've got is the shorter plastic Hasbro ones, the ones that are like full blades, not extend out ones. Because those are actually pretty decent quality, but compare them to the metal hilts and stuff, they're just way better. So I was kind of looking at those and I'm like, okay, I'd like to do the Mace Windu one.
Yep.
And just looking at prices, and then I'm like, let's look at Walmart.com. And it's like, oh my god, it's a lot cheaper at Walmart. So I'm like, okay, I won't buy it here. I'll buy it at Walmart.
Yeah, that's one of the things, from just the number of conventions I've done over the years is you've got to pay attention to that pricing because obviously those folks are there to make money as well.
Yeah.
And your best bet is to do it on closing day. You go in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And you look for the stuff you want and say, hey, I'll offer you this much. Now you don't have to pack it up and carry it with you.
And that's kind of what I did with some things. The 3 pictures I have on my wall here are pictures that I picked up on the last day. And I think each of them were going for like 15 or something like that. And I think I talked them down to, 35, 40. Like even $40, that's a good deal for those, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I don't care as much. I definitely, my 20-year-old self was right. I don't care as much about money as the 40-year-old self. But, it's less about the money now as it is about the clutter.
Yep.
Oh, it's still about the money for me.
Yes.
Yeah. But then, what else did I buy? I bought, some pieces for some of the games we have. I ended up getting t-shirts for myself, and planning ahead, I got a couple of t-shirts for a future grandson or granddaughter.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
it's not, you're not just looking for yourself, you're also looking for others. Yeah.
And it turned out that board game is really poorly rated.
Oh, really?
This is a Star Wars Outer Rim, and it's a light game that is kind of like running smuggling runs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of gotten torn up on, not very well received, so I'm glad I didn't get it.
Yeah. But I did go to the panel on the Jedi Fallen Order. Is
Yes.
it? Yeah.
That one.
The new game.
Yep.
Oh, the
It.
game. Yeah,
Yep.
that's coming out in not too long.
Yeah, it should be out by Christmas, I believe.
October is what I last heard, I believe.
So that does sound appeasing to me. I probably will get that game.
Yeah, I had some handy dandy old GameStop gift cards that I went and used to pre-order that game.
Pre-order. That's fine.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of games for pre-order, unfortunately they're going through GameStop, so I think the price is inflated. But if you've seen these 1-Up arcade games,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the Star Wars game, they have pre-order.
Which one is coming up?
It's the Star Wars arcade game, but it also
The
has,
original one that was in like a sit-down cabinet?
yeah, with the vector graphics and stuff. They also have the Empire Strikes Back in there and Return of the Jedi.
I can't remember what those. Return of the Jedi had the Endor speeder bike thing.
Yep, and then you had to fly in the Death Star. And, yeah.
I don't know if those would be as good without sitting down in the cabinet.
Well, it depends if they're doing the ones where they're the arcade games that they're been re-releasing. It's pretty much like a tabletop type thing. So once you get it all assembled, you can set it on a table
Yeah, so you
and
just
play it.
sit.
Yep.
Yeah, because they do make like a, what is it, like a 1-foot booster thing that
Yes.
sits on the bottom, so it can stand up like a regular arcade game. And when I played it in the Fairmont arcade, it was a stand-up. You didn't get to sit down there.
Yeah, I
Sit-downs took too much space. So.
But I never
Yeah.
I didn't do it as much. I was really tempted by the Street Fighter.
Yeah, I'd seen some of those out, and it's like, gosh, there was one in particular that I was kind of looking at. I think it was one that had Gauntlet in there, And I'm like, that would be kind of neat, but
Yeah.
do I really need that? I
Not
think
about
I
need,
can put
Todd.
it off.
Not about need.
There was a big sale
Yeah.
on them where a lot of them were on sale for like $150. And
Ooh. That's like
they go on sale a lot.
50%.
That's the scary part is I would hesitate to buy one new because I see them $100 off all the time.
Yeah.
They must not sell well.
Well, just looking at prices online, your average game goes for about 300. Just regular price. So yeah, having that Star Wars one at $499, I'm like, seriously?
Yep.
What the bleeding hell?
License is part of it, and they know they have enough of a crowd that'll buy the initial ones at that price.
Plus, they're going through GameStop, which is trying to stay afloat.
The other ones sell through Walmart, and so I think that's why you can get those good deals.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm waiting for all the pre-order stuff to be done, and they release it in more than one store. So
Yep.
they do show up at Walmart and maybe knock off $100.
However long their agreement is. Is it a 6-month delay before you can sell it to others? Whatever that might be.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. So you need to break out of here.
Station break here and set up, disconnect my audio and everything.
Okay. Glad you
Alrighty.
could join us.
Glad I could be here.
Yeah. Thank you for being here in person.
Surprising.
Yeah.
That necessitating some audio rejiggering, which took us a little bit as well.
Yeah. Here I thought I was just gonna plug in my headset and be good to go, and like, yeah.
Yes.
That was one concern.
Yeah. Well, it was all good.
Alright, yeah, I'm glad I could drop by.
All right. Great to have you.
Nice
Alright.
finally chatting with you, Travis.
Same. Safe travels.
Yeah, I'm glad Todd has somebody else here to continue talking to, so he doesn't have to talk to himself.
Yeah, we get a little bit concerned when he does that for a while.
Yeah, I tried doing one by myself once before, and I'm like, this just sounds way too weird, so I went and deleted it.
So many people online do these things like Kevin Smith, but I don't know.
Yeah, Kevin doesn't do too many by himself. He used to do one here and there, but
I watched the big.
now it's more.
I can't remember. It was one of the big movies, Infinity War or something. He did a big one by himself.
Oh yeah, yep.
Pop up Office Space.
His movie review ones are usually by himself.
All right. Well.
Okay.
Thanks for joining, everybody, and I'll say goodbye until next time.
All right.
Okay.
I know.
And
He's still there.
Yeah. If you want
User disconnected from your
Oh.
channel.
Boom.
perfect.
there he goes.
Ask if you want.
So, anyways, back to Star Wars Celebration Chicago.
Alright.
Because yeah, Wes and I did a whole podcast. Gosh, I think it was like after day 2 or 3 or something like that of the celebration, and I go back to edit it, and you can barely hear me.
Oh man.
Wes sounded like perfect volume. Me, it was like, oh my gosh, I'd have to turn this. And I tried, like normalizing the audio, and it just nothing was working. I'm like, okay, this one's going in the can.
That sucks.
So that's why that one didn't happen. That would have
Let's
been.
hope this one doesn't have the same problem.
Yeah, we had enough technical difficulties to start out with that I hope this sounds alright.
Yes.
So, yeah, did you even get to walk around much at the celebration? I mean, yeah, you could do a lot of your stuff like before they opened up, really, didn't you?
Well, not as much as you'd think, because you still got to get. We had to get our display prepped.
Yeah.
Which is, it's fine, but you don't have all the vendors open that much earlier to actually go through and see what they got. But yes, if you plan it right, If there was something specific, a couple, 3, 4 booths you wanted to go hit, yeah, you could swing over early and snag something.
I heard there was some thefts from some of the booths.
Well, yeah, we were there the one night after closing, and they catch 2 guys, 1 or 2 guys that had stayed behind, had hid in some stuff, and then were trying to pilfer stuff from a couple booths, and the one booth guy happened to still be there and caught him.
Hmm.
And then what they were trying to figure out is from the sounds of it, they thought it was a group that was doing it. So they were trying to nail it down, but they never gave us any follow up to exactly how many people they caught or what they caught them with. But that's one of the things that happens at any of those conventions like that. You get people who are gonna try and find a way to steal what they want, which
Yeah.
sucks for the rest of us.
Yeah, that's just stupid, unfortunate.
Yep.
It's like, have some decency, people.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it's one of those things too. And plus, how much are you actually gonna be able to carry out? So you're trying to
Yeah.
do this for a few $100 worth of stuff, unless you get
Yeah.
some super rare stuff, which is usually locked down a little bit better. But
Speaking of
Mhm.
bringing stuff in and out, I was wondering about how do you guys get that tank in there?
so the tank itself has a lot of components that are removable.
Okay.
So a lot of the the outside parts of it all come off, and we detach it, and instead a lot of it actually gets stacked back up on the tank or on the trailer that we use to transport it.
Okay.
But yeah, that was one thing. So Don West, who is the owner, master builder of that tank, when he was designing it, purposely did that. So certain parts had to be made out with made of foam or lightweight plastic, so that we could easily lift them up off the body
Okay.
to do that.
Wasn't this like on the second level of the center? Do they have a big elevator to
No,
bring up vehicles, or?
you can actually drive them in. There's ramps and stuff to go back to all the different loading docks. So any of the big convention centers like that, you see probably 2/3 of the convention center. The other third of it is all the behind the scenes stuff where they've got it for big rigs or whatever else to pull in there and load or offload whatever they've got to do. So I've been in the one in Chicago. I've been in that convention center for printing conventions, where they'll bring in fully large printing presses.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
set them up in there to do it. So it's you got to make when you're gonna have a big one like that, it's gonna have big shows. You got to make it accessible for the vehicles to bring that stuff in. But
Nice.
we literally Don took his truck in the trailer and just drove it right in next to the tank. We pulled down all the stuff that comes off of it, drove it up onto the trailer, packed it up, drove it right out.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Geez, what more can we say about the celebration? I think.
Well, I think like anything, it's one of those things where it was fun, it was enjoyable. If I were to compare it to the last one, which was down in Orlando,
Yep.
I think I enjoyed Orlando a bit more. Just the way that it was laid out and things that you can do there, and I mean Chicago wasn't horrible, but part of the challenge you had, I just don't think you had the same attendance level that you've had when you've done them down in either Orlando or Anaheim.
I don't like hearing that because that means it might not come back.
Yeah, I'm thinking for the Chicago thing, you're probably looking at probably quite a few years before they would bring it back there.
Yeah.
You got 2 challenges. For Disney, you want to bring it where it's near your theme parks,
Mm-hmm.
because all those fans are going to go to your theme parks. And the scuttlebutt was it ended up in Chicago because the fact that the Anaheim Center was already locked down before they could reserve it, which is why
yep.
they lost out on an opportunity. And since Chicago has some history with George Lucas, they use that as their backup plan.
Ah,
But we were all talking about that. When they had it, years ago in Indianapolis,
yep.
it was a big hit. That's also a very good location, centrally located.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be another good choice.
Yeah, I would totally like that there. 'Cause yeah, how far of a drive is it from?
Indianapolis is 2 hours for me.
See, that'd be ideal.
Yep, that would be perfect.
So let's hope for Indy again sometime.
Yes. Well, hopefully, I imagine after this year at Anaheim, the next one will probably go back overseas.
Yeah, overseas, and then probably Orlando, and who knows after that.
Yep. But on the plus side, with all the stuff they have in the pipeline, looks like we will still have more.
Yeah. Yeah, if they did, well, when they do Orlando again, I shouldn't say if.
Yep.
I'd probably be interested in going down to that one.
Yeah.
Anaheim, I'm not really too thrilled about going over there.
The Anaheim distance is a bit much, but the last one that I went out there, flew out and at a hotel that was within walking distance. That was pretty decent. That was not bad at all.
I suppose with location of the hotel is probably spendy though.
The one I had was not bad.
Really?
If you get the ones that are like attached to the convention center, different story. But I had one that was not attached, and I mean it was a 1 block walk, and I did that one by myself, and all in that overall trip was probably less than $1,500. That includes airfare, whole 9 yards.
I guess that's not too bad.
Yep. Nope. And again, that was just me doing it. So if you had somebody going with you, you're splitting a hotel room. There's a significant cost savings right there. Mine was the most expensive part of mine was the hotel room, and even like I said, even though my pricing was not bad, does still your most expensive component.
Yeah. Does that include the price of the ticket?
For that one, I think it did.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking, if I went to another one, I could probably get Sean to go. Hopefully he has a job.
Hey, see, there you go.
Corey, who knows about Corey? Yeah, he said he didn't want to go to the Chicago one because at that point he was, 2 Star Wars out, is what he said.
Oh, okay.
But it's like he'll probably be listening to this too. So
Well, I mean,
it's like he kind of likes this stuff, but then I think Corey, I might be wrong, but just the online influence of other people and their negative reactions, I think that might have gotten to him.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable. I mean, you get a lot of frustrated people, with some of the things they did with The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we win those people back here with The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Yeah, another convention that was just last weekend, in fact, was the Nerdin' Out Con in Rochester. And this is the second one. The first one, of course, I had last year in, I think it was September last year. And for being a convention in Rochester, it was actually pretty decent. I mean, they got some big names in there. Well, not really big names, but because you get the really big names in there, that's more money.
Yes.
that they have to dish out for those people. So you got like the B list of celebrities and stuff.
But
So,
those guys can be fun. I mean,
oh yeah,
that's just it. Those guys are willing to actually talk, socialize,
right.
hang out with the fans. And I think people underestimate the just the sheer level of fun you can have with that.
Oh my God, you want to take a perfect example of that would be Ming Chen. People know him from Comic Book Man. Otherwise, it's all that Kevin Smith stuff, which he's kind of a big part of. And yeah, he's out walking around in front of his booth, shaking hands with people, talking with them and stuff. He talked with me for a while, shook my hand 2 or 3 times. And when I saw him last year, because he came both years now.
Okay.
When I saw him last year, my right hand and arm was in a cast, so that was kind of a conversation thing last year. And then, I see him this year, and I guess Corey had gotten to him before I got to him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, my friend's here, the one that had a cast last year." So by the time I caught up with him, he was kind of fresh in his mind. It's like, "Oh yeah, that's that guy." And so yeah, we kind of talked about that a little bit more and stuff. But yeah, really decent guy to talk to and everything. But from what I hear, he's like this at all the conventions that he goes to.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a people person.
Yeah,
to the
we got
10th
to see
degree.
him a couple years back at the Derby City convention, which is no longer in existence, I think. But he was there, and we had our table, and yeah, he comes over and says hi, and we'll chat and converse, and then he wanders off to the next thing. So he's a fan of the stuff there and enjoying himself, which is great.
Yep. Yeah. And I think last year they had, Sean Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
This year they didn't have Sean Gunn. They had, trying to think of the other people they had. They had 2 people from, Star Wars original trilogy.
Awesome.
But, the person that played Ula, the dancer in Jabba's palace, they had her. They had, oh crap, I can't remember his name now, but he played Greedo.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just can't think of his name.
So
yeah, but yeah, in the last year they had like one big room to have all the vendors in. This year it was more like a room and a half, with part of that second room being set up with a stage and for Q&As and stuff like that. So that kind of worked out nice. This was a 2-day thing, this last one, where it was a Saturday and Sunday. Saturday I couldn't make it, but I did go Sunday. And Corey went both days. And he had said that the Q&A stuff was kind of hard to hear because they were using the facilities speakers
right.
that day, and he had mentioned something to them, and then second day we come and they had the Q&A with the Star Wars actors, and they had speakers right at the edge of the stage instead that they used. I'm like, that's awesome. That's exactly what they needed. Because then everyone could hear, and it was nice. But you didn't get the echo effect. I was at one Star Trek convention where they did that, using the built-in facility speakers.
Right.
Oh my, that was like the worst convention ever that I had gone to. I mean, as far as the dealers and all that was okay. But then when you had people on stage, you couldn't hear a word they were saying because it was just echoing off everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was, I remember I was waiting in line for autographs for Jonathan Frakes. And they had it set up so people that bought, the gold tickets, got to go first.
Right.
Well, so I'm waiting in line. They get through the gold ticket member stuff, and then he had to go up on stage and give his Q&A. So we're all kind of waiting there. And then he gets done, goes back to the autograph table, and all these other gold ticket members go and jump in front of line in front of us again. I'm like, seriously? Like, I've been waiting here for almost an hour. I don't know if it was an hour, maybe 30 minutes. I can't remember. But
Right.
I'm just like, we get pushed back in line again yet? I'm like, I am done. I am totally done. I'm leaving.
Yep.
And the other people that were with me, they're kind of shocked that I was just up and leaving. But I'm like, no, I've had it. This is the worst run convention I've been to.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I understand. Like, I've seen plenty of that kind of thing on there. It aggravates the hell out of you.
Yeah.
And that's why I like when they do. Some of the conventions will do it with those autograph sessions. Actually have, you can buy your time slot to go get it.
Yep.
And that way you don't have that. If there has to be a break or delay or whatever, you still get your time slot finished, as long as you're in line in time.
Mm-hmm.
And the priority folks have to wait till their time slot. Can't just jump back in front of the people who are still held over from a previous session.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of autographs and photo ops and things like that. So there's another convention coming up in November, the GalaxyCon Minneapolis convention.
Mhm.
And yeah, they've got quite a few people that are showing up at this one. I mean, Shatner's going to be there, Frakes is going to be there. You got Walter Koenig, you've got Nichelle Nichols, yeah, just a bunch of people from, you get your wrestling stuff too, which
Right,
I still don't understand why that's part of a thing.
It's
But-
because your convention is no longer limited just to your sci-fi nerd stuff.
Yeah,
It's multiple genres, so
I suppose they got to get. I can see the attractiveness of it as far as a venue standpoint. You want to get more people in, and
Right.
that's how you're going to do it. So, yeah,
well, that's like because Louisville also has a GalaxyCon, which will be in November, and our lead off people, Dave Bautista,
Yep.
who covers all that genre stuff,
yeah,
John Cusack,
yeah.
Felicia Day, and Nick
Oh, we don't get
Frost.
Felicia Day,
Oh yeah, we get Felicia Day. I like her.
but we get the other ones.
Yep, we get Nick Frost, Catherine Tate from Doctor Who.
Yes,
You know,
we get her as well. Do you get David Tennant?
we do not get David Tennant.
Oh, we get David Tennant. They just announced that this past week.
Wow, aren't you special?
However, the tickets that Corey and I bought are for Friday. And of course, Tennant is going to be there Saturday and Sunday.
Do you get Carrie Ellis? Oh,
No, I don't think we get him.
I got a little Carrie Ellis going on here. Yeah.
And then, we were supposed to have Jason Mewes.
Uh-huh.
And being that, Jay and Silent Bob reboot is coming out, they're
Right.
doing the Reboot Roadshow. So he canceled. And, I'll still get to see him in October because
Right.
Corey and I bought tickets to the Reboot Roadshow.
Mhm.
But we didn't do VIP, which those tickets are just,
Yeah.
like, I don't have money for that.
No, those get a little bit extreme.
I could have afforded it if he went to GalaxyCon, but I did pick up photo apps for Nichelle Nichols because who knows, it might. She's on her last little convention tour, and then she's done. So I'm like, this is the last time I'll be able to do this. So I got her, and then I got Brian O'Halloran.
Oh, that's cool.
If you know, he's Dante in a lot of Kevin Smith's movies.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm getting him. My first thought was, I'll get Dante and Jay in a single picture with myself, but Jay canceled. So, but they do have. Shoot. Now I gotta look this up. They got Michael Rooker, who was also in Mallrats, so you can get a picture with Brian O'Halloran, Michael Rooker, and what's her name? The one that played Amy in Chasing Amy.
Oh yes, I know the gal you're thinking of there.
I can't think of her name now. That's gonna drive me nuts. So I gotta.
You gotta look it up.
And I'll hit myself when I see her name because I should know
Joy
this.
Lauren Adams.
Yep. Yeah, she's gonna be there too. She was another recent announcement that they just did.
Cool.
So you can get a picture with all three of them together. And it's like $150 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if I'll do that.
Do it. Just do it. See, we've got a excuse me, a new convention. Well, I should say it was new last year down in Nashville called the Imperial Commissary Collectors Convention. So this one is like mid-September. Now, which cracks me up. So last year this convention was actually held in a very nice horse arena. Like one of these super fancy ones, and they like the bottom arena floor. They had this big carpet over everything, and had folks in there. Had William Shatner was there. Had a lot of folks.
Yeah.
So this year, just kind of scrolling through the guest lists they're going to have. So Daniel Logan, who is the young Boba Fett, will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Zahn, author for Star Wars stuff, will be there. James Arnold Taylor will be there, the voice of Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going through, and they've got various other Star Wars actors, that did various other parts for all the movies. And we're talking like a dozen of these guys. And it's just, it's really amazing at the kind of crowd, the kind of, I should say, the just sheer volume of folks he's going to have at this convention. And what's great about it is, again, these guys, like I said, are, you may not consider your premier actors and whatnot.
Right.
So they love just to hang out and talk about their experiences and things they got to be a part of, which is just a really neat perspective.
Nice. Yeah, the three of those people together in one picture, it was $130.
Do it.
But you can do a Guardians of the Galaxy trio photo. So you get Mantis, Sean Gunn, and Michael Rooker. That's $150. Or you can include. I thought there was one that they had 4 people. Oh yeah, and then you add in Bautista, and that's $225.
Wow.
So you're jumping at $75 more to get 4 of them than having 3 of them. That's wild. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't have money for that. But yeah, and I don't know exactly how they do this, but right now if you look at their website for photo ops, it's like everything says session 1. And so people buying like multiple photo op sessions or multiple people, it's like it's all session 1. Hopefully they're not at the same time. I saw one guy posting on Facebook that he's like, well, it doesn't really work like that. It's like you can, whatever time you end up choosing, because you get to choose a time, I guess.
Right.
You're in the first group.
Okay.
Of that time frame, whatever you choose. So I'm like, well, that makes sense, and hopefully that's the way it is, because I don't want to be running from Nichelle Nichols and miss out on Brian O'Halloran, or vice versa.
Right.
Like, plus, I want to do like clothes changing in between, because I'd like to do a Starfleet uniform for Nichelle Nichols, and then go ahead and I want to buy Mooby's employee shirt and wear that for Brian O'Halloran. Which I gotta buy that shirt sometime.
That should be some good photo ops for you.
Oh yeah. And I've got 2 frames sitting here, 2 empty 8x10 frames to go up on my wall of fame. So
You need to fill that up, man. You need to fill that up.
Eventually to go like all the way around this room along that top part. So I've got myself and Ming Chen on one. I've got Sean and myself with Ian McDermott on another one. So, and then Savannah and myself with Sylvester McCoy on another one. Want to fill up that top part of the wall all the way around the pool table.
Well, get on it, Todd. Get it done.
Which I probably could do another photo op with one of these people, but do I want to? I don't know.
Do it, Todd. Do it.
I mean, who knows how long like Walter Koenig will be around yet.
Exactly.
However, he's $70. Shatner is 85, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the most spendy ones as far as a single one go.
Well, I can point out to people is I got one with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it would be my last opportunity, but that's what you don't know. If you really want to do it with these folks, you gotta focus, you gotta buckle down, make it happen.
Yeah. Oh, I stand corrected. John Cusack is $100.
Aha!
And then you got John Wesley Shipp. That's $50. Well, even Frakes is $50.
Oh wow.
Lou Ferrigno is $40. Rooker's $70. But yeah, I should probably do another one.
You can do it.
Well, I think I budgeted for like 150, so I'm not quite there yet. So yeah, I've got room. Got room to play with. Anyways, we should probably do the fan film of the month. We're going like extra long this time.
Yeah. You're gonna have to do some editing.
Yeah. Well, there's that whole part where Wes left, so
That too.
we can cut out the blank space in between, unless you said mean and terrible things. Then we'll use that as the
No, it was fine.
the after credits thing. Not like we do credits, but at the end anyway. Fan film of the month. We're finally getting to this, and yep, we're doing Hand of the Empire.
Woohoo!
Which, of course, you have a personal stake in.
Yes. I'm in it. It's a brief scene that I'm in, but I am in there in my TIE pilot costume, so good luck spotting me.
And you get to die, though, too, right?
I do die, however, that part we did not get completed for the final cut, so you don't actually see me die. So
it's just
honestly,
implied.
I could be alive. I could be the
That's
one that
true.
escapes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say the acting in it was better than I expected. You got some quality people working on this thing.
And I will say, on their behalf, thank you. John Wells, who plays Kanan, he's a professional actor. He has a lot of stuff under his belt, and he was instrumental in just guiding and teaching everybody else. And we were lucky. We had a few other guys who were also, training and wanting to become actors, who are also, we had one guy who's an actual stuntman. He's a professional stuntman and did a lot. He's the one you see doing a lot of scenes where if you see like a stormtrooper taking a dive or doing a flip, that was him. He did a great job with that. And I
can't remember. Did you put in, or someone put in the stereotypical when someone
I
died.
believe it's in there. The Wilhelm scream.
Yes.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that is in there. I'm trying to think of which part. Yeah, I think it's when Chad falls out of the tree. So
Yeah, I think I do recall that.
Yeah, pretty sure that was it.
All right. So yeah, people check that out. We'll have the link in the.
And we appreciate it. And
YouTube
again,
page.
for those of you who aren't familiar with this the story behind it, it was in part a lot of folks got together to celebrate the life of a young man named Phil who lost his battle with cancer, and we were looking for ways just to raise money, raise awareness, and whatnot, and kind of led to doing this fan film, and we just for reference right now on YouTube we have past 80,000 views.
Awesome.
Which is phenomenal. So we're eyeballing that 100,000 view mark. So if you see it, you like it, please share it.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get some more views from having it as a fan film of the month.
Let's hope so.
And I'll put on a personal link on my own Facebook page and get more people who are aware of it that way too.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, excellently done. And it kind of makes me not want to do fan films anymore because I just can't live up to the quality of the ones that are out now. It's like, oh my gosh.
It is tough, and when we did your fan film, which was still an excellent film, Todd, and we enjoyed it immensely. But when you have the crew that we had, you're talking for us, what, 7 people?
Yeah.
Out there doing this. And when we did Hand of the Empire, I mean, you had 20, 25 people out there doing this. And, you had, the director didn't have to do his own filming. So, that goes a long ways to being able to, do what you want, get some cool shots and whatnot. So, I'd say, Todd, don't give up on your dream.
Yeah.
If you feel you got a good story, make it happen.
Yeah. Well, I still have that story for doing an audio story yet.
Oh.
But last time I looked at that, I'm like, I need to do some changes on this and update it a little bit. And I've been talking about that for like 5 years at least.
All right, well,
I should really just sit down and get it done.
Get it done, Todd. Start scheduling yourself time.
That's what I need to do. Schedule it. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, someday we'll open up the. Gosh, what was I calling that on the website? It's like the Flamecast Theater or something. I can't remember what I called it now.
Flamecast Theater. I like this.
I'm sure I still have the icon for it somewhere. Yeah, it's there somewhere. All right, Star Wars Kenner commercial.
Boba Fett, Darth Vader, Chewbacca, and 18 other action figures, all from Kenner Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection, each sold separately. At participating stores, you can check specially marked packages for details on how to get the secret figure. New Boss, Alien Bounty Hunter, not available in stores yet, free with 4 proofs of purchase from any of The Empire Strikes Back action figures. Offer expires May 31st, 1980. Darth Vader, Chewbacca, Boba Fett, and other action figures, each sold separately. From Kenner Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection.
And we're back. Go out and buy one of those.
Yes, do it.
Yeah, that was one thing I noticed that, well, especially like the Chicago celebration. I mean, you had a lot of like Power of the Force stuff out there, and yeah, every once in a while you'd run into ones that have, the classic stuff from when the original trilogy actually came out.
Right.
And those just break my heart. Cause yeah, I know I've said it before. Between Ryan and I, we had a ton of that stuff, and it all got sold in a rummage sale.
Yeah.
And I think I've mentioned my plan if I ever discover or am able to use a time machine. I will go back and my first thought was, okay, I'm going to go back, keep myself from selling the stuff, and tell myself to keep it. No, that is not the way to go. You know what's even better? Go back with some money and buy myself out, take all those toys, bring them forward in the future, so they'll be in more pristine shape. I know what'll happen to them, because I'll have them, and yet younger me still gets all the money. So there, it's like a win-win. Yes, that would be the way to do it.
I can't wait to see how this goes wrong.
Well, first we've got to discover time travel, so get my slingshot around the sun, maybe.
Good
But
luck.
then I
with
might
this.
burn up.
You'll be alright. I gave you 50-50.
So that's the plan. So yeah, then I'd pick up one of those from the commercial. And right now, because I haven't edited that in yet, I have no idea what that is.
Excellent.
Ain't that cool? You know what? We also had some anniversaries that came and went.
Oh.
One of them being a actually big anniversary. It was a 10-year anniversary. So back in February 23rd, actually, we had the 14th anniversary of Yoda's Treasure.
Ooh, wow.
It's been 14 years.
That's amazing.
It's been 10 years since Luke and Leia was filmed, which you were actually supposed to be a part of.
Sorry about that, man.
You were supposed to be the Dante type character. No, the Randall type character. Because Chris was going to be the Dante type character.
Okay.
But instead I used some other connections, got some other people.
So
And then...
you're resourceful, Todd. You're very resourceful.
Yeah. Well, I gotta be when you're off to Vegas and you're off to Kentucky and I can't get you back.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
Yeah, and then I finally get you back for the audition, and I decide not to go that route. Which sometime I really should post some of the footage from that, but I don't know. In the context of not having a story behind it, it doesn't really make much sense. So yeah, maybe not. And then 8 years it's been since Connect More. That was on May 21st. Gosh, it's already been 8 years on that one. That's scary too. Time just
Time
flies.
flies, man. We're getting old, Todd.
Yeah. 'Cause yeah, even looking back at like I've got action, well, what used to be Action Traction, which is now Figures in Action. Gosh, the when I started reposting those, my gosh, that was 2015.
Wow.
That's been 4 years. Oh my gosh, it doesn't seem that long. Yeah, the first one there was posted June 13th. Just over 4 years ago. Nuts. I tell you, nuts.
I'm just so impressed you come up with fresh ideas. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and when I do these, it's like it comes in blocks. It's like I have to take all the action figures I have and lay them all out on the pool table, and then it's like, geez, I haven't used this figure before. What can I do with them? And that's usually what happens to get my ideas going. Other times it's like, there's maybe just something that hits me, and I'll go and type it out before even having the figures before me. And that happens quite a bit too. Because right now what I'm doing is I'm putting them in sections. So every month is dedicated to a different genre.
Right.
So I might have, this month is what, Star Wars. So I'm using Star Wars figures right now. Last month was DC. Month before that was Star Trek. Month before that was Marvel. So, and then I rotate through them. So every once in a while I'll throw like something, like the South Park figures and stuff like that. I'll throw them in a separate month with just grouping together all the miscellaneous.
the cast-offs,
Yeah, you get like the aliens figures and
right.
South Park, whatever extra stuff I have out. But yeah, Corey and I have been going to some of these toy shows that are popping up around the cities. Just mainly vendors selling and buying toys. And yeah, I had 3 of they were talking Star Trek Next Generation figures. And all 3 of them actually have the batteries in yet. They're unopened, and you could push a button on the figure and hear the stuff that the character had to say. And there's like 3 different things on each one, 3 or 4. And I think I picked them up at like $5 a piece. Well, you talk to any vendor at these things, and they're like, Star Trek stuff doesn't really sell. It doesn't get people anymore.
Right.
So I eventually sold them for $5 a piece. So I broke even on them. However, I got a Lord of the Rings Risk game out of it. So I traded 3 figures for Lord of the Rings Risk.
That seems like a good deal.
Yeah, so the Risk game was one of the things that has been on my list for a while. So, yep, got that then. But yeah, it's also been a great way to get some of these, Star Trek figures that I didn't have before, which I've got pretty much all of them, but there was a few out there that I didn't have, and yeah, I think I have as many as I need now. It's like, and then when I'm buying figures, it's like, how can I use this as an idea in figures in action? And so that's part of my buying process too. It's like, is it photo worthy? I don't know.
Will it make it great?
Yes. So yeah, that's that. My gosh, it's like 2:00 in your time now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut here pretty soon.
Yeah, we're running about 2 hours now. This is gonna be the longest one ever.
You might have to break it up. I don't know.
Like I said, we'll take about 5-10 minutes to. Yeah, well, it's probably about 5 minutes that we had. When Wes was
you'll
sleeping.
probably be able to trim 10 minutes or so out of it. But
Yeah. But yeah, it's great. We finally got one of these in the can and ready to go, and we had you and Wes at the same time. You're not the same person. We have proven it now.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So there it is. That is Flamecast 51. 51 is finally done.
We're there. Oh my gosh.
We have made the hurdle. So yeah, for people who've been waiting since, what was it, February, March,
Wow,
for
that has
another
been a
one.
while.
Yeah, it's been a while. You finally have another one to listen to.
Yay.
So there we go. And we'll just call this one a day then.
Well, thank you for putting this one together, Todd.
You are welcome. Thank you for being here.
Glad to do it.
All right. So, again, this is Todd Bletz.
And this was Travis Buckmeyer.
And that is a wrap.
Yeah.